Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by MMA Veteran Ryan Healy. Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mike. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Ryan, you got a fight coming up against John Alessio at Score Fighting Series 4. How's training been going for the fight?
Training's been going awesome. This is the best training camp I've ever had, to be honest. It worked out great with my brother having a fight a couple weeks before. So I was able to start this training camp nice and early, and was able to go through injury-free and feel phenomenal.
Your brother, he's been doing some training in Hawaii, China. He's been all over the place. Have you gone with him to those locations to train?
No, unfortunately, I haven't got to travel as much as him. I've just been pretty much in the Northwest here around Portland. But fortunately, there's lots of good training options around here. So
you were supposed to fight John Alessio back in December. Why exactly didn't that fight take place?
Unfortunately, I hurt my knee training for that fight. I popped my knee, and luckily it was just a partial MCL tear and a strain on my ACL. Because when I did it, it popped. You could hear it across the room. I really thought I tore some ligaments or, possibly had the old ACL tear. So it was an injury where I had to take about a month off and just rest it. But the knee feels great now. It's strong as ever.
That December date you were supposed to fight on that card. He hasn't fought since he was supposed to fight you on that card. Was this a fight that they wanted to put together really bad, or was it, you wanted this fight really bad, he wanted this fight bad? How come we've been able to put it back together?
I think it was a fight Score was pushing for, but also I think we both wanted the fight. I know for me, Alessio's got a good name. I think our styles match up well for myself, so it was definitely a fight I was jumping after. And when they said when I got hurt, well, we're gonna just push it back, and I said that's great, let's do it.
Now, John Alessio, he's got a pretty good win streak going. I think he's won like 9 out of his last 10. He's been looking really good. He dropped down to 155. A win over him, what would that mean to you? Because he's a veteran in the sport. He's been around. He's fought all over the world. How much would a win right now mean to you?
It would be huge. I think everything, like my training has finally got right. I think my skills have matched up. And I think he's the perfect opponent to test myself against, to prove that, I can be one of the elite guys in the sport, and if I have a good performance against him, that it'll show, I deserve to be in the UFC or Strikeforce and am at that level.
I know you can't speak a whole lot about your game plan, but how do you plan to deal with John Alessio? He's pretty well-rounded. Like I said, he's fought all over the world. How do you plan to deal with the skills he brings into the cage?
I think it's to get up in his face and make him fight you. He tends to like a slower pace, a little pitter-pat fight, just hitting and moving and then looking for a submission. I think the way to fight him is to make him fight you, to make it a scrap. I think I match up pretty well with most people when it's a fast pace and a hard-nosed fight. So that's exactly what I'm going to try to do.
You're both very experienced fighters. You've been in the game for a long time. How do you see the fight going? Do you see it being a lot of stand-up, a lot of ground? Do you see it being, a true mixed martial arts fight where it's a little bit everywhere? Where do you see the fight playing out?
I see it being a true mixed martial arts fight. I think he'll, try to stay back and strike with me for a little bit, but I think ultimately he's looking for the takedown and try to end up on top. So I think it's gonna hit all areas. I think he'll try to wrestle with me. I'm very happy to wrestle with him. So going to try to enforce my will and make it a scrap.
Do you think the winner of this fight, regardless if it's you or if it's John, whoever wins this fight deserves a call to the UFC or to Strikeforce or maybe to a Bellator? Because if you beat him, you basically take all those wins out of his pocket and put them in yours. Or, if he beats you, you're a veteran guy. You've been in the game a long time. Do you feel that the winner of this fight, deserves a shot at the big show?
I think so. I think we're both, like you said, we're experienced, but I think we both kind of came into our own in the last couple fights, and I think that definitely we'd match up with anyone very well in Bellator, Strikeforce, or the UFC.
In 2008, 2009, you had a 5-fight losing streak. All of those fights were decision losses. Was it something that was going on maybe in your personal life, something going on in training, game plans? Like, what exactly was going wrong there? Was it bad decisions that you weren't able to win some of those fights? What exactly was going on during that point in time?
I think it was an accumulation of a lot of things. It was, I was trying to work and train when I could. So the dedication level wasn't there where it needed to be as far as training. I think, the most notice I had for each fight, I think the most notice that I had was a month notice for Jorge Masvidal. Everything else was like a week or two. So bad decision making, I think, on my part had something to do with it. And, it was... I don't think I had come into my own yet as a fighter, and maybe I took, was looking more at the paycheck and not as much at my career.
Now you're 7-2 in your last 9, I believe. How were you able to turn it around? Was it just focusing more on just the fights itself and, taking real time? Like, I'm not going to take a short notice fight. Maybe I'm going to wait a little and then, get a good matchup for me. What exactly caused you to be able to turn around?
Well, unfortunately, I took, the 2 fights I did lose were, shorter notice fights, but I think it was a confidence thing. Once I finally broke that barrier and broke that losing streak, my confidence started to raise again, and I think I've just really been coming into my own as a fighter. But also, the training, I think, switching training made a big difference where, previously I would focus on sparring hard. And, sometimes I'd spar hard twice a day and just sparring. And, got to realize that maybe that's not the smartest thing, that you do need to focus a lot more time on technique and slowing it down and creating that muscle memory before you can, do the stuff at 110%, live speed.
Now, you win this fight. What happens if you don't get a call to the big show? You just continue doing the same thing you're doing? Do you have other offers to go elsewhere?
Yeah, I think I just keep grinding. Score, I think, is a great opportunity. They run a first-class show and have given me a great opportunity here. So, if anything, say I do win the fight and that call doesn't come, then I'll just keep grinding, keep fighting for score, and keep trying to build my name out there.
But is that your ultimate goal, is to be in the UFC, or does it really matter as long as it's a top organization? Bellator calls, you're not going to turn them down?
I'd like to be in the UFC or Strikeforce. I'd like to be with Zuffa. But I'm just kind of I can't say really of what'll happen. I'm just gonna try to explore my options, keep training hard, keep improving, and get to my ultimate goal of becoming a world champion. That is my end goal. So if it takes 2 or 3 years of fighting outside of Zuffa before I get noticed, then I'm willing to do that. I'm at a point in my life now. I don't have to take fights just to get money. games. So, you know, I'm just going to keep grinding, keep training hard because I love doing this stuff. I love training. I love fighting. So, you know, I'll just keep grinding.
Ryan, do you have a prediction for your fight at Score Fighting Series 4 against John Alessio?
Yeah, I'm going to knock him out. I think I can put my hands on him. I think I can break him down, and I think I can knock him out.
Ryan, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank? Anything you want to say to the fans?
Yeah, I'd say to the fans, get to thescore.com. It's a free live stream. It's really great fights, a great night of fights. And I do want to thank my sponsors, Gamma Labs, Dirty Boxer, LA Boxing, let's see, and Float On Deprivation Chambers.
Ryan, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck against John Alessio at Score Fighting Series 4.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Appreciate talking to you.